Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe. Let me get a hell yeah one time. Yeah. So, never done anything like this before. This is new to me. I never really just have conversations on this channel, and I want to do that today. So there's a TikTok trend that has gone viral, and it is blending your foundation with your fingers in on your face. And when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like someone's using their hands and mixing in foundation. You guys were tagging me in it and saying I've been doing this for a long time, which I have. I've been blending my foundation with my hand and highlighter for years and years. I even came out with a custom highlighter shade with Gleam by Melanie Mills Peach Deluxe to wear with your foundation. And they even changed the name from just Body Radiance to Face and Body Radiance because it works so well on the face. So I was kind of like, I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. And still lots of people messaging me about it and tagging me. My whole attitude with makeup or being in the makeup industry is kind of like, shut up and just be happy that you're here. Which I do in my whole makeup career. I've been like that, you know, do your makeup and mind your own business. Shut up, just be happy that you're here. Even as far as with brands, being invited to events and I go and I'm happy to like, okay, maybe they want to get to know me, whatever. And I know that I felt that they didn't really want me there other than for checking off a diversity checkbox, like didn't really interact with me. You know, when you go to events and you try to get to know brands, they kind of get to know you and explain why it'd be good for you and all this kind of stuff. And I've had so many situations with brands where I've been like, I'm feeling I'm being invited but not really being welcomed or actually wanted there. And I'm saying all this stuff because there was one comment that someone left me that really stuck with me, and it made me really question, is me being this kind of like, whatever, I'm just gonna shut up and do my makeup type of vibe, and not really care and just be happy to be here and not say anything or use my voice. Made me really question that, because this year I really set out an intention of really connecting with my community and culture, and as I've been making a ton of cooking videos and learning how to use my voice and finding my power, because I'm always just like, let's just do makeup, let's be chill, like whatever, hell yeah, you know. But maybe that is somewhat a disservice to my followers, and I really trust you guys and I really love you guys, and you guys are always so dope and cool with me. And like I said, there was one voice note someone left me that really made me question everything. And this was right after me getting super overwhelmed and seeing this person who has, you know, millions of followers from this makeup trend, and I'm like, oh, maybe I have to be more like that to get views or whatever. And so I tried a video, I really hated it, where I was like rapping along to a trendy song at the same time as doing my makeup, and I felt so uncomfortable, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't get to where I am by following trends. I've never been like, let me get on this trend or whatever. That's why you've never seen me blend my foundation with a cucumber or a red pepper or shoe or whatever, unless it's something that I can connect with. Like I think the Bratz challenge, I was so into that. But it was right after I did this video where I felt so uncomfortable, and I'm like, why am I trying to fit in and do some video that feels uncomfortable to me when that's not my vibe? So I want to share the voice note with you because I had a really cool conversation with this girl afterwards, but I just want to play it for you.
Hi, Sandra. My name is Alicia. I've been watching you for like ever, and something's really bothering me. You've been doing your makeup with your hands for literally forever, and all of a sudden it's become a trend for people to do things with their hands, do their makeup with their hands, and you haven't gotten any credit. They've been giving the credit to a white woman, and it's kind of bothering me because you've been doing it forever. And I want to know if I'm like exaggerating a little bit. I don't know if I am, but it just kind of irked me because they never want to give credit to any black women.
So she left me this voice note, and I, you know, like I said, I have this attitude of just shut up and be happy that you're here. And it kind of made me think about Jalea Harmon, who did the Renegade dance on TikTok, choreographed it, and wasn't getting any credit for it. And after she was asking for credit, this is something that I admire about her so much. At 15 or 14, when she created the dance, she took a stand and was like, listen, that was me, and she wanted credit for it, of course. And so thinking thinking about that, it's not her who has 100 million followers on TikTok. It's the people who were doing the dance and, you know, not giving credit or whatever at the beginning. It just reminded me of that kind of situation. And I will say too, I don't know where this whole like foundation thing came from. I'm not trying to say that it came from me, because like I said, nothing has never not been done in makeup. But I feel like we almost need to take responsibility as viewers when we see stuff like this. And a lot of people just don't see it that way. I didn't really think it was a thing, but there are my peers who are making YouTube videos about this viral TikTok trend. And people in the comments are saying like, oh, what about Sonjdradeluxe? And they're like, oh yeah. So I think there's responsibility to be taken on all different sides. And like I said, I'm not trying to say I invented anything or trying to start any hate or anything like that. Like if someone is praising you for something that you're doing, collect your bag, get your money, roll with it. I think that's amazing. But you know, as viewers, are we showing love where we need to? And are we supporting each other? And that's the thing that I kind of especially after doing something where I was kind of feeling uncomfortable doing and thinking I needed to somewhat follow a trend, but really staying true to who we are and celebrating what we do. And like I said, finding my voice and my power. I had this conversation with somebody where I was talking about her with this because that voice note really affected me, and I wanted to talk about it because I know a lot of people feel like this, and a lot of people, you know, including myself, feel like Black women don't get enough credit. I don't want to quiet or diminish that voice or that concern or that way of thinking, because I believe it to be true. And anytime someone says anything that is maybe not what you agree with, try it on as if it is true, just for your own thinking and your own growth. So I was having a conversation with someone very important to me, and I was like, you know, this totally changed my whole everything on what I want to do on my channel and how I present myself online, and maybe the way that I use my voice. Because if my followers are people that I really love and cherish and they matter to me, am I doing them a disservice by not bringing this up? Even though I'm kind of like whatever, let's just do this and just be happy we're here, whatever. Am I doing people a disservice by not speaking out about this stuff? And she said, well, why don't you just shout the person out and be like, hey, like, oh, I'm so happy you guys are comparing us, like, I'm flattered, like, I'd love to see her doing it. And she said she knows these other two people who look similar, have similar features, were being compared, and they ended up being friends over it. She's like, oh, this person said, oh, I realize you're comparing me to this person, I'm flattered. And then the other person started shouting out the other person. It was this whole big thing, and it ended up being a positive whatever. And I'm like, that would be great, but the fact is there are people who are feeling like Black women don't get enough credit, and I don't want to diminish that by just pretending it's all like, oh, let's be friends, blah blah blah, because that's not the concern here. And afterwards she said to me, she's like, you know, I just really appreciate you bringing that side of how you feel to light, because I didn't know that, and I don't think people do. And that's why I'm really strong with, I'm not making this to attack this person. That has nothing to do with the person who's making it a viral video. I think it's super dope, but it sparked a whole side of this other conversation with me. And you know, when I scroll on TikTok, I know TikTok really caters to what you view or what you like. Like I liked one cat video once, and I got hella cat videos, and I don't even like cats that much, sort of cat lovers. But my TikTok, I see a lot of people that are like, hey, like, Black women interact with this, I just want to see something for engagement. It's hard to see stuff like that. Is this really confirming that, you know, it's harder for Black women to get viral or have their videos seen or shared? Or if they're rapping along to a video and doing their foundation with their hands, will it be as viral as this other person's, you know, the renegade dance or all of those choreographed dances by Black women? Are they getting 100 million followers? And I think it's not maybe the person who's doing it, but what about us as viewers who are blowing it up? And like I said before, with my peers doing the videos, that's contributing to it blowing up. And again, not criticizing my peers, like, it's hard to get views out here, like, you do whatever you gotta do and you do what's trending. That's a good responsibility as an influencer, to test out trends. So like I said, with finding my voice and finding my power and to be a little bit more outspoken and to connect, I just want to say I've been doing my makeup with my hands for years, and I want to show you guys how to do it and explain each step, because there's one way to do things on TikTok or on Reels where you're like looking good or trying to do a vibe, and doing your makeup, and there's a difference between breaking it down and explaining why you're doing it. So we're gonna do it properly today. We're not gonna use the whole foundation bottle, and let's get into it. Before I just jump into it, I just want to say again, like, I would like to challenge us as viewers to show love, and we get to decide who goes viral and who, you know, is popping online. And we also have a responsibility to be confident and to use our voice. And I wanted to make this for people like myself who are maybe afraid to use their voice and to let things just be the way that they are, and challenging it, and not in a hateful way or an angry way, but challenging it in a way that people can hear it. When I was talking to the person that I said that really means a lot to me, I wasn't speaking to her like, well, you don't know shit, blah, 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 because that's not how I felt. I was talking to someone who I care about, who cares about me, and explaining it as a person of color and what it feels like, and to recognize how important it is to not just pretend that that doesn't happen, but to acknowledge it and maybe talk about it. So I just wanted to have a conversation about it, and she said, thanks for explaining it to me. I didn't know. And a lot of people don't. So that's why I don't feel like anyone's at fault here, or that it is a fault, but just to bring to light our responsibility as viewers and stepping into our power. Like, let's do it together. Let's get this OG finger gang, finger blend shit popping. I already have moisturizer on right quick. So this is what I was talking about, the Gleam by Melanie Mills Body Radiance. It's now called the Face and Body Radiance because the Luxe Femme was very strong, and I realized that it was really great on the face because the binders in this to help it from transferring actually worked as a really great primer. So I've been using this for a very long time. I met Melanie Mills in Hollywood. I was working on counter at MAC, and there was these things called luster drops, and I'd always mix that with foundation because there used to be strobe cream and it was too white for me, and that was the only shade. Now they've diversified and made more shades of strobe cream, but on lighter skin tones I would do the strobe cream, and then on darker skin tones I would use the luster drops because there's a gold, bronze, rose gold or something like that, and I'd mix it with moisturizer and I'd put that on. Then they discontinued it, and I thought my life was going to be over because I always would put liquid highlight underneath my foundation. And I went to IMAX or something in LA, and I saw Melanie Mills had this body radiance, and I was like, whoa, this looks like luster drops, but it was almost better because it was hydrating and had primer in it. So I went with that and I rolled with it. We developed a really great relationship, and we made a signature shade called Peach Deluxe, which is great underneath foundation. I wouldn't wear this one on my legs because it's a little bit light, but they have a dark deep bronze, I think it's called, deep gold. It's really awesome on legs. So I'm going to take that. And the reason why I like to do stuff with my fingers, and well, at first I did it because I couldn't afford brushes, and when I could afford brushes I realized that I like my hands better. Some foundations, like for example the Face and Body or really watery foundations, are harder to blend with your hands, but I love to warm it up in your hands and then blend it on. And the reason why highlighter mixed with foundation looks so good is because there's little reflecting bits in it. So even just that just kind of camouflages your skin, and it's a play on light. So the light reflects off of the highlighter and then kind of diffuses it, so you just look nice and smooth. Also, a lot of foundations are more on the matte side, and skin is not matte. Like if you just look at my arm, you can see light bending on it. It doesn't look like powder. So this gives a really nice natural radiance to your skin, blurs the skin by playing tricks on the light to diffuse pores, and then once you mix it with your foundation it kind of picks up those pearls covered a little bit by the foundation, so you don't just look shiny like this, and then diffuses the light so you get this radiance. You look like you're glowing, your skin is popping. It also gives a little bit of coverage, so now we're not working on just bare skin. I have a little bit of freckles, darker under eye circles, some acne scars, I guess, in terms of pigment, not in texture. So now we're not working on top of skin that is just raw and expecting the foundation to do all the work. We're working on skin that is prepped and already is blurred, but we don't want to look like we just have a shiny face, so we're going to go in with foundation. So I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath Labs foundation. Doing this technique will allow you to use way less foundation because it's already blurred and blended so well. All we're doing is adding color, so I'm going to do that real quick. Now my face is much lighter than my body, so I just go a little bit darker with my foundation, and we're going to blend that in. And you barely need anything, just nice and light. What's nice about doing your foundation with your hands too is that it already warms your skin up, or warms the product up to your body temperature. Sometimes when you're putting on foundation and it's cold and you let it heat up to body temperature, it'll slide around a little bit, and then you have to correct that with some powder. So doing this allows you to use very little foundation and blend it out really nice. It's also good to just get your circulation going. Just make love to your face, you know what I mean? But you don't need a lot. Even just like this, it looks natural, and then you can go in with powder anywhere that you don't want it to be shiny. Like I don't really want it to be shiny right here or underneath my eyes, but leaving it just on the skin like this looks like a natural highlight. There's no rules right or wrong to makeup, but if you can make it work, why not? Because a lot of people made fun of me and told me not to blend my foundation with my hands, and it's worked well for me for a very long time. A lot of people ask me why I do my foundation with my hands, and I think I kind of just said it there. It really works well for me, and it really smooths it into your skin. I feel like it's a great first step for your makeup. And I do my concealer now with a beauty blender because it's so quick, but I feel like your fingers with concealer really help to stretch the product out. Like use way less when you use your fingers. So I'm gonna do that. Oops, shit bitch. Wouldn't be my video if I didn't get something on me. Just gonna do some concealer, not too much. Get my ring finger, and I'm just gonna blend it out and do a tapping motion. But this is much less concealer than I normally use, but it can take a little bit longer, which is why I just get in there with my blender. But same thing, I like to do this too when your foundation's a little not quite fully dry, so it blends in and is pressed into the skin. Alrighty, I'm gonna quickly do the rest of my face and check back in right quick. Okay, so now makeup is on, and I was really giving myself a chance to be with myself and think about what I'm talking about. And in the beginning of the video, I was super nervous because I didn't want to say the wrong thing. And I also said I wanted to step into my power and be confident. And a few things came up for me. One, I think it's really important to be your full, true self. I can't tell you how many influencers, huge influencers, came up to me before they blew up and said, Sondra, I do my bronzer because of what you taught me, or I do my nose contour like how you taught me, or I did my makeup just like you and you taught me that. Many huge influencers, and then they blew up and unfollowed me because they became too famous or too cool. I don't know what it is, but I'm just thinking back on that, and when I was like, oh, thank you, that's so sweet. Never shout out recognition, nothing like that. Just told me in person quietly at an event, and then all of a sudden they blow up and they're huge, and then they unfollow. Now I take responsibility in that because I stopped believing in myself. I started to withdraw and get in my own head and think I'm not anything special. And people are always like, oh, you're so humble, blah, blah, blah. Is it great to be humble to the point of insecurity where you're afraid and you don't want to post? And like I said, in 2019, I had a really rough year. This year, obviously, or 2020, it was rough too, but I decided to be consistent and start doing my work and being myself. And I feel like in 2020, I was finding myself and my voice. And this year, I set an intention of being myself and celebrating that. That I stopped believing in myself and celebrating what are my gifts and things that I do really well, and that hurt me, and I'm done with that. And I want to speak up about this because when I'm on TikTok, I'm tired of seeing videos that say stuff like, if you're black and you see me on your For You page, I'm automatically liking your shit just because they're trying to F us over a lot. Why is that a thing? You know, or this audio.
I have made it my mission on TikTok to, whenever I see a black girl, a black woman, period, I will follow them.
Like, this is a thing I see on TikTok a lot, and people aren't getting recognition, they're not being celebrated. And I think the first step for people like myself, I feel like there's a lot of people who are very outspoken, some very few people actually that are very outspoken about this, and they are praised for it. Then there's people like me who are just screaming on the inside to speak out about stuff like this and are too scared or too shy. And I think because I'm such an outwards type of person or a healer type of person, when someone came to me and said that they were frustrated or whatever about it, I want to jump in and protect them. So I feel like I'm not even speaking just for me, but I'm speaking for you guys, and I feel like it's our responsibility as viewers to support and to show love, and I'm going to work on that. And I'm also going to start to recognize my own power, not just in other people and trying to support other people, but also celebrating myself. I can't sit here and think that I'm a piece of shit all the time and then be surprised when I'm not popping off and someone else is. So this is what I want to make really clear. I'm not attacking anybody anybody at all whatsoever. Get your bag, secure the bag. That's not what I'm talking about. I think that it's important for us as individuals to find our power, love, and celebrate who we are, and support other people too. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, and I feel really comfortable and open to talk to you guys about this stuff because I know you know I'm not coming from a place of hate, and I never ever ever want to hate on anybody else or shade or shame or anything like that. Second thing, I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but when I'm being asked to speak on something, I'm going to, and especially if it relates to who I am. Third, I'm going to start to do stuff in my vibe and my style and be free and not so uptight and so scared, and I'm going to actually listen to what I say in my videos, which is love yourself, and I want you guys to do the same. I hope that this sparks a conversation on where you focus your attention and who you're giving support to, and thinking about what you're supporting online, and if you're supporting yourself or celebrating yourself, and if you're being made fun of something, it might become a trend one day. Also, I'm not going to change my eyebrows right now for everybody who keeps saying it. I've been made fun of my eyebrows my whole life, and I always liked them at the time, and then, you know, whatever, I just do what I want when I want to do them. So I'm gonna do me. I hope you guys do you. I hope you guys support each other. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow. Love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.